How do you feel about this life-giving contrast? Is it kicking your butt or are you enjoying it? And of course, the answer should be yes. We want it to be yes. We want you to love the contrast. But the thing is, if the contrast is kicking your ass, then maybe your answer is no. Whereas your question should be yes, because contrast is life-giving and you salivated over the idea of contrast, that you could come into this place in this time and space from the non-physical, and you would experience contrast and variety, and even you were even excited to experience resistance because you always knew that you would have this emotional guidance system. You always knew, and you programmed yourself to always be reminded of the unconditional love that truly was always at your beck and call, that truly was your power, the unconditional alignment, the unconditional love. So contrast is serving you. It is serving you because you're always launching more rockets and the contrast is serving you. But the question is, are you taking the balance? The question is, are you receiving the benefit of all of that you put into your vortex? Meaning every time that you've experienced the shortage of money, you've put more money. You've amassed this fortune. You've amassed a fortune bigger than you're able to receive right now. That is, if you're not already a match to it. You know when you're a match to your desire, you know you're a match to it because it manifests. You know you're ready for your manifestation because it manifests. And so if it's not manifested yet, that means that there's some vibrational work that's left to do. And the vibrational work is very easy. And that's why contrast, when you came into this body, when you were little kids, the contrast of your time and space, it didn't get you all, in a tailspin. You were actually really good at dealing with contrast because you knew that when life caused you to want something, you were good at keeping up with the expansion. You were good with wanting more money and growing in your mind to the image of being a millionaire and finding joy from that. That is when you were younger, and you were good at dreaming. You were so good at daydreaming. But then those who were very well-meaning, but those who still wanted to get you ready for the sort of harsh, cruel world out there and reality that is, they tell you can't just daydream. You have to have action. So you didn't feel worthy. You didn't feel like you could have what you want simply because you asked for it, simply because the laws of the universe are allowing you to. So many people, they come up with lots of sort of stories and lots of sort of groups, and the groups get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they have so much more altercations and to prove who's more right. And ultimately, everyone's right because everyone is a perceiver of their own life experience. But the only question that really matters is, how does it feel when you think it? Because if it doesn't feel good, then that's not coming from your source energy. That's coming from the spinoff of man's thought. And that's really interesting because you're here, and while you're also human, you're more vibrational. You are vibrational, and you can give up your vibrational sort of habits and your vibrational, eternal, unfinished, true self for anything. And that's what this video is really about. This video is to help you understand and to really cajole you into understanding that everything that you want already exists and you can have it, and it simply will come into your reality simply because you already asked for it. Your entire life experience and this world at large is set up for well-being. It's set up for more receiving of more well-being. And while you ask for more money, your more money is given to you, and is given to you in the vibrational form, and you must be the translator of it. So if you want to shorten the time, if you want faster results, then you have to be better at receiving your desires. You have to be more in the receiving one. You have to be more of a consistent match to your desire. You have to get better at perceiving it, at realizing it, because there is a realization thing happening. Your desires don't just fall from the sky. They all are vibrational. They start from a vibration, and then they mature into the physical counterpart that you see, into the physical manifestation. But the thing is, the physical manifestation, it really isn't the only prize. The true prize, and this is exactly why you were so good at keeping up with the contrast, because when you were younger, you always understood when you were dreaming that how you felt was all that mattered. So you could look at the absence of what you wanted and you could still feel good because the vibrational version was good enough, and you were really good at focusing. Those kids are really good at focusing, and you can tell that they're really good at focusing because their energy is moving fast, because they don't get tired. Isn't that interesting? They don't get tired. Many look at them and they say they must not be good focusers because they're not solving any problems. They're not solving any of the world's problems. And there is this false premise, which is the more better you feel, the more sort of lazy you are, the more you're not doing anything, because hard work and grueling effort is what pays off. But truly, in this vibrational world where this world is governed by the laws of attraction, there can be no such thing as hard work. There's no effort required in your manifestations because they're already done. They've already set them up. The cooperative components have already been gathered and launched. And now your job is to not pay the price for your manifestation. The only price that you have to pay is happiness. And so that's what this video is really about. It's really about you understanding that this now moment is the prize. This now moment is it. And so many of our friends, while they get very manifestation oriented, they get addicted to manifestations. They sort of give up, or they trade in the daydreaming sort of fantasy that they lived all throughout their childhood, and they decided to be real because they need to be, responsible to society. They need to care about what other people thought. They need to be sort of good members of society. And so instead of dreaming, they decided to do action. And all of you are very manifestation oriented. You just want to get over there. This moment doesn't matter as long as you get over there, because when you get over there, that's the real prize. That's when you'll really celebrate. And you know that because everyone says, don't jinx it. The other shoe will drop. You don't want to fully appreciate where you are. You will only fully appreciate it once you really go over to the end. And we're here to tell you that there's no other side that you get to, because the other side, you know what the other side is more contrast. In fact, there's more contrast. And so there's nowhere that you're going to get to that's fully going to be enough for you as a creator, because you're a creator and you always will create. And so what are you always creating though? You're creating your mood. You're creating your point of attraction. Your point of attraction is very powerful, because that's what law of attraction is responding to. And the thing about your point of attraction is that many of our friends, physical friends, they're only offering their vibration because everyone is offering a vibration. They're all offering their vibration in response to what they're seeing, in response to what this person might say, and what's happening over here, and what's happening over there, what's happening in the world. And they think about everything other than their alignment with source energy, because that's boring, because it feels selfish. It feels not productive. It feels lazy. It feels like I'm putting my heads in the clouds, and yet that is the work. Your work is to connect to source energy. Your work is to slow down and gather the momentum and sync up with the momentum of your source energy, because that's your work. And sometimes it does cause you to slow down, but once you start to feel good, that's your time to milk it. Because we're not saying just be still and don't think about anything. We're telling you get control of your car and then drive. But the thing is, you have to understand whether or not, or you have to know how to gauge whether or not you're able to be in control of your car right now. Meaning, do I feel good or do I feel bad? What is your mood? And the thing about your mood is that your mood, you can create it. And emotions are so much more than they're meant out to be. Because when we say feel good, we don't say feel good because what you want isn't coming. We say feel good because when you feel good, you actually change your point of attraction. Because many people are conditional in their love. They're saying, look, give me good conditions, give me the money first, and then I'll feel happy. And we say, of course. But the thing is, it doesn't work like that. If it worked like that, then everyone would be rich. If it worked like that, then the conversation wouldn't be about how can I get more cars. It would be how can I give them away? How can I get rid of them? Because I'm manifesting too much. I'm manifesting more than I'm able to handle. So this is not a conversation about demanifestation. It's a conversation about manifestation. And the only manifestation that really matters is this now moment, because there's no future that you'll get to that'll feel better. It's this now moment, because this now moment will bleed into the next. When the future gets here, it's going to be another now, because there is an infinite number of nows. And the question is, if you can do this work for the way it makes you feel in the moment, then you really have the secret that will put you above any other competition. There is no competition, but what we mean is you're going to have results that are completely so tailored to you that people will look at you and be like, how did you do that? Because I want that in my life. And you'll tell them, I just got really happy. I just stopped sort of thinking that life was a race and a marathon to get somewhere, and I just slowed down and realized that this was my life. Because people spend their lives manifestation, and it's not all bad, because there's also a lot of joy in being focused and having goals and getting things accomplished. But ultimately, if you're not having fun, and if your true prize isn't fun, if life isn't about fun, satisfaction in this now moment, then you're truly missing the point. Because there's no badge at the end of all this. There's no great award that you'll get in the hereafter, because there is no hereafter. It's all here now. All of non-physical energy is focused here right now. So the thing is, don't do this work because of the manifestations that will give you. Because when you do this work for the manifestations, then you never get there. You'll notice that. And the little manifestations, the things that you don't really care about, you can apply your processes, and you can truly see that you can actually make those things happen. So you have that belief factor in check. You believe that you can create things, and you believe that there is a vortex. But when it comes to those big things, then you can't use processes to get those big things to bud. You really can't. You have to fully allow those things. You have to use the leverage of alignment. And the thing about alignment is that alignment feels good. And the thing about alignment is that when it feels good to you, that's all it needs to do. It just needs to feel good to you. Do you remember when you were young and you just daydream, not because you wanted to get anywhere, but because you just wanted to feel good right now? That's the thing. Where you are right now is your point of attraction. And many people are saying, change my reality first, and then my point of attraction, I can offer something different. But we're saying, change your point of attraction first. Change how you feel first. And when you change how you feel, the law of attraction has to give you something different. And that's what every single law of attraction process is about. It's about you feeling better. It's about you releasing resistance right where you stand right now. Because right where you stand right now is the prize. It's not do this process and do this right now so you can get there. Because when you get there, it's not much better. And yet when you do this work properly, meaning you're feeling good and you're understanding that this right here is the manifestation that truly matters, and you're doing all that you can for the feeling right now. So you're not doing it for the feeling later. You're not putting your vibrational deposit down now so that you can get the reward later. There's no reward later. It's all now. It's all right here and now. And the question that this forum is asking you is, are you getting your fair share right now? Not are you getting your fortune, not is life going really well for you. Are you feeling good right now? Because that is the success. And truly, if you could do this for the way it makes you feel, meaning you're daydreaming because it makes you feel good. And the thing is, you know how to feel good. You know how to get into the vortex because you are the leading edge. You know what we're saying. You know how to resonate with source. So there should be nothing to slow you down. Your desires should be coming really fast. The only thing that will really be slowing you down are your sort of ability to understand and comprehend and receive and perceive this vibrational reality. You're able to feel good for longer periods of time, and you know how to stay in this vortex. And not only do you know how to stay in this vortex, but you know what this vortex is, and you know how to stay there longer, and you know what makes you stay there longer. You know how to do the quote-unquote boring work. You know how to slow down and connect with source and gather that momentum and receive. You know how to do all that. And if you're still experiencing some slowdown on your manifestations, then it's that the little bit of impatience that really can be soothed by anticipation, by understanding that this is a manifestation, that you're doing everything not to affect some future outcome, but to affect right now, how you feel right now. That's really leading edge. That is really, really leading edge, because many processes, many teachers, they teach do this so that you can get that, but we're saying do this so you can feel good, and that's your prize. Because when you're feeling good now, and truly the prize that you're feeling right now is how you feel, and you like how you feel, and you understand that that is a prize, there's an absence of resistance. There's a complete absence of resistance, and that absence of resistance, then everything that you want, it will just avalanche into your life. But the thing is, when it avalanches, it feels so normal. We like to make our human friends very uncomfortable, but helping them understand that you are the leading edge. This is the time of awakening. You put yourself into this body because something about this time and space, well, we all know, because this was the time and space to be sort of a physical creature now. We all were so excited to get into this body because we knew that the promise of expansion, the promise of the fun and the vacation life that we would experience, the all expenses paid vacation, would be so much more worth it than any sort of struggle that we would experience. We were down. We all wanted to feel the sort of rags to riches. We wanted to guide ourselves. We wanted to really be taught this unconditional alignment, because that's who we really were, and that's what we were truly about. So friends, you can have everything that you want, because everything that you want already exists. But the question is, what you want, yes, it does exist, and you will get it. It's for sure. It's inevitable. But the question is, are you feeling good right now? Because if we can get you to understand that, if how you feel right now feels good, and that's what you're really looking for, then everything that you want has to come to you. If you can feel good along your way to your manifestations, then you get there a lot more faster. So savor your desires. Have fun right now, because there's no future. Isn't that interesting? There's no future that you're going to get to. It's now, because when the future comes, it's just another now. So friends, you are a receiver. You are more than you make it out to seem. You are so much more than this physical body. You are source energy, and all those departed geniuses and artists, they all are interested in you. They haven't gone anywhere. There's no hereafter that's more rewarding than this place here. This is where the leading edge is. This is where spirit literally materials into physical. This is where all that is focused on you and what you want, the books that you want to write, the music that you want to do, the movies that you want to act in, that you want to make, that you want to direct, that you want to produce, the YouTube channels, everything, anything you can imagine, they're interested in you. And the question is how much of that are you allowing? Meaning, how good are you feeling? Meaning, are you understanding that how you feel has always been the prize, and how you feel has never ever been about what you have, what you don't have, how much you may have, or how much you may have later. How you've ever felt is about what you're doing right now with your vibration in relationship to all of your desires. Meaning, are you feeling good about your desires? Meaning, are you feeling bad about your desires? Meaning, what are you doing in relationship to source energy? Are you matching source energy, or are you sort of not matching source energy because you are on some bogus tangent and you're fighting for your limitations because you've got it in your head that you can't have what you want because it's too big. You have to pay a big price because you haven't had it in so long, and all that stuff is just bogus. It's negative. It's negative thoughts. It's negative emotion, and thus it's all bogus. So friends, you are more than your bodies. So receive from those geniuses and those artists.